Oof, guys, talk about complete and utter destruction for the stock market today, for Palantir stock, you name it. This is actually Nike stock right here, which we shorted. We had the $70 puts. I actually locked in those profits today, made a nice gain on those, feeling happy about that. Pretty much the only money I made today in this market, right, as every index went down massively. Guys, look. QQQ went down 3.5%. Let me pull Palantir up. I think this one went down, what, 5? Yeah, 5.5%. Actually, not that bad, considering just how much overall we went down. You guys can see SPY went down about 2.7. The Russell, 3%. We can see QQQ down 3.5%. Dow down about 2%. And actually, it looks like they're down even more after the bell. So when I'm making this video, it's about 5 p.m. East Coast time. QQQ closed at 589, and now we're down to 583. Holy moly, 584 in the aftermarket, so we're down even more. Yeah, it's one of those days, right? And we covered it in the last video, going over what happened with China, Trump. We're not going to rehash that in this video. But yeah, the market was looking for a reason to sell off, right? And we got it. We got it. And it's taking down a lot of stocks, Palantir being one of them. And look at this chart, man. QQQ literally, and this goes to show how fast things can go down. QQQ this morning was literally at 613, all-time high, by the way, and now it's at 584. It has dropped almost 5% from top to bottom. You know, we're talking $30 a share. You know, this is insane, guys. And SPY, you know, it wasn't as intense for SPY, but still, we went from 674-ish down to about 649. That's a 3.75% drop. Big deal, right? So, yeah, what's happening here is, well, a buying opportunity is opening up. That's the way I'm looking at it. I don't think this is the start of a stock market crash, right, or anything like that. I think this is what we've been looking for, what we've been waiting for, the sell-off we've needed after September's amazing month, which historically is a bad month. So this is all working out for me. You know, my prediction, it's going according to plan. Great September, which then was like, I was like, all right, now we're going to need a pullback in October for that end of the year rally to set us up for that. And that's exactly what we're getting right now. In my opinion, you know, we got the pullback, and I'm ready to buy a bunch of stocks next week, right? Which we'll do a whole nother video on that probably over the weekend on 5 stocks I'm going to buy literally this upcoming Monday. I'm going to deposit a bunch of money. We're going to buy this dip, and we're going to cover that in the video probably this weekend. But for now, let's just go over Palantir quickly, go over those charts, and kind of see what's going on with the indices, man. Some other stocks I'm looking at now as well. So Palantir, you would have thought today would have been like a 10% type of red day for Palantir, considering it was near all-time highs this morning, literally, before we got this news. But no, it actually didn't go, it wasn't that bad. You know, it didn't go down that much. 5.5% is what it went down, about $10 a share. Really not bad. And we're trading right by the 180 moving average right now, which, guys, newsflash, we've been there for months. This has been the main support that we've held for a while at this point, right? And we can see it right here. So in my opinion, man, the chart, yeah, it looks a little wonky over the last couple of weeks, right? But overall, we're putting in higher lows. Bulls are in charge. Yeah, we have resistance at about 185, 190, but what are we doing? We're making these higher lows into that resistance. We have an ascending triangle, in other words, forming. So if Palantir could really just, well, obviously break 190, this is going to go a lot higher, in my opinion, but we're not there now. We're seeing the big drop. So let's see if buyers start trickling in here in the low mid 170s, right around the 180 SMA. This could actually be a great opportunity, a swing trading opportunity, if you guys want to call it that, to get in for a rebound back towards the 180s, right? And maybe for that break back to 190 plus, or to 190 plus for the first time, which I think is coming. So yeah, I think this is actually a great setup for a buy the dip. Not that I'm telling you guys to do that, right? But overall, the entire market, I think this is a good buy the dip. I don't think we're going to head into a crash, a massive, dump or whatever you want to call it. If anything, we might slip a little more. Sure, right? That could happen, but it's setting us up for a nice entry point for the end of the year, for that push. I think we're going to get it. And that's for Palantir here. A nice entry point for the entire market. Same thing, right? So what do you guys think about that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And I'm so pumped, for next week. I'm going to buy a bunch of stocks. I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well. I didn't do much buying today at all, quite frankly. I'm kind of letting the market come down. I'm fully aware that over the weekend, we could slip even further. I don't see a situation at all, to be honest, where we get a huge gap up Monday morning. So it's not like I feel like I have to rush into the market and buy the dip frantically right now because Monday we're going to recover big time. I don't think we're setting up for that. I think, if anything, we might bleed a little more Monday depending on how this weekend goes. But I think Monday is going to be a good buy day. Tuesday is going to be a good buy day. And then we'll see. The market will start to chill out a bit, consolidate, and we'll go from there. But I locked in gains today on Nike, on those Nike puts. Made some good money there, which, we called this out to a T, guys. The post-earnings pop on Nike was so predictable that it was just a bull trap. It was a fake out, and boom, we're down like $13 a share from where it peaked out. It hit 77. Now we're at 64. So I locked in gains on that, on this big drop on Nike. But other than that, man, I didn't do anything today, in the market. And sometimes that's how it is, And again, I'm going to do a lot on Monday, a lot on Tuesday, but I didn't make many buys at all today. Just that, put option play there where I locked in the gains on Nike. But that's pretty much it. VIX today, 30%. Now we're back over 20, just like that. And what were we saying? We said the VIX was super low, in the 14 range, 15 range, 16 range. I was saying, guys, the VIX, it's low. And here we are. Boom, 21 points on the VIX. We're right back to where we were back in August, back in June. Last time we had, big spikes in the VIX. Those last couple times we got to about 2021. So at this point, man, could I see it go to the mid-20s? Sure. VIX could go up a little more. But realize if we start hitting 25, 30 on the VIX, it's going to be a little overblown probably at that point, unless we get like a black swan event or something that comes out of the blue that we're not expecting, kind of like what we got here, back in April. Well, I guess we kind of expected Liberation Day, right? We knew it was coming. But I guess the impact on the market wasn't expected as much. So the VIX went up to 60. Do I see it going to 60 now? No. But again, could it go to 25, 30? Sure. And at that point, man, if it gets to 25, 30, I'm going to be buying the dip. I'm buying the dip because, high VIX means there's some chaos out there, stocks are going down, right? So I'm taking advantage of that because I don't think it's going to last. My opinion, though. You guys do your own research, right? I'm not a financial advisor. This is just, again, my opinion. And trade at your own risk, guys. And with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up. Join the Patreon if you want to be a part of the Discord chat. See what I'm doing in my portfolio week in, week out. I do 2 posts a week. Portfolio updates, that is, on Monday and Friday usually. And we go over whatever, whenever I make a trade or make an investment or do whatever, right? We're posting it on Patreon. And it's linked down below. Also, there's a Discord plus more, guys, and it's only $10 a month. If you want to do the $20 a month, there's different tiers, right? You know how that works. But it's not much at all, and it's linked down below. Or go to the comment section, stocksurfs.com/Patreon. Get in there, guys. And with that being said, cheers. I'll see you all in the next one.